More than 6,972 people got tested for coronavirus last week in Shepparton after contact tracing showed a symptomatic Melbourne man had been in the region last month. Now this is a massive response, highlighting the commitment to our collective health and well-being that we should all be mindful of as restrictions start to ease around the state.
So when the news came about on the Wednesday morning, I didn't know if I needed to get tested or not. I was a bit confused.
Good half of that day was a panic, trying to work out, what do I do? How do I do this?
And at first we thought it was because my partner had gone to Bunnings.
Do we have to get Fletcher tested as well? How's that going to go?
But then the Bunnings date changed. And then it was because I had gone to the local cafe, the Lemon Tree.
Damien just happened to slip an extra lunch at the Lemon Tree and fell within the dates.
We go all the time. Goulburn Valley Pride loves Lemon Tree.
I did more research and rang the hotline, and I learnt me and Fletcher didn't have to get tested, and then we just had to wait for his results to come back. So I thought it was better him than all of us.
With so many people getting tested, more locations had to be opened up to meet demand.
They cut the line off by lunchtime and said, we're at capacity, you're going to have to just come back tomorrow.
You know, I spent 2 days waiting in queues.
And then I dropped him off at 7:30 in the morning and the line was already like 2 blocks down and around the corner.
There was thousands of people waiting to get tested. It was the most incredible thing to be a part of. Yes, it wasn't fun standing in a queue for a long time, you know, having to stay 1.5 meters away from other people, wear a mask and, you know, and there wasn't really much to do. But everyone around us was all talking about how they had maybe been to this place, whether it was they weren't sure if they'd been to Bunnings on that day or if they'd been to the cafe, but they got tested anyway. The response was incredible, the amount of people that showed up.
You know, people did go out and get tested, and thankfully there hasn't been any extra cases come out of it.
It's pretty cool to have known that many people really took it seriously. People took the advice and everybody did the right thing.
It just really disrupts your life. So I think the easiest we can do is go and get 2 things up our nose and down our throat and wait a little bit, the better it is in the long run.
I think it's a really good example of how Australia and, you know, Victoria in general can definitely make waves with this. And it wasn't a big deal when I had to call in sick for work or cancel meetings that I had, because work was like, yep, COVID. People are really across it now, what to expect. And I think more than ever now, as a society, we're very understanding of flexibility.
Coronavirus symptoms affect us all differently, which is why we should isolate and get tested if we're concerned about anything. But just cause, here's a reminder of what to look out for. A fever, coughing, a sore throat, or shortness of breath. Now, these symptoms could be anything, which is why self-isolating, maintaining physical distances, washing your hands, wearing a mask, all of this makes a huge difference. Honestly, having a coronavirus test is nothing to be concerned about. It's a swab in your nose or throat. I've had STI checks that have been more uncomfortable. But we have to acknowledge that for some, seeing a medical professional can be triggering, and if that's you, know that you're not alone. Reach out to a friend or give Switchboard a call so that you can get the support you need to make the best choices for your health and the health of others. Now you might be wondering what all this colour's about. It's because Shep kicked off their Out in the Open festival for the 9th year this week, celebrating inclusion and diversity, and this year, thanks to the online space, we can all be a part of it.
It's been fantastic, to be able to step forward and still have Out in the Open happen. I think there was a lot of, back and forth about what are we going to do? Is this going to work? Are we doing too much? But the more we kind of nutted it out as a committee and talked about it as a community, the more we realised it could happen. And we really just want to bring people that opportunity to connect, to celebrate Pride, to get out in the open. It hasn't been an easy or smooth sailing road, but we're here now and we're very, very excited. I think a lot of people are super keen to get celebrating and, really be able to be themselves and, connect online and some in person as well, I guess.
On Saturday, you might recognise a familiar face taking part in the virtual Carnival Day, with plenty of performances for everyone to enjoy. Plus, in the morning, there's a virtual rainbow story time for kids and families.
We're hoping that since we have to have it digitally, that it gives more people a chance to join in and watch it and listen to it from the comfort of their own home, in their pyjamas if they like. So the library is for the whole community. Being a part of Out in the Open is fantastic because it just gives us a chance to highlight the fact that we do have a great range of books that is extremely diverse and for everyone. And it's really important for children particularly, but older children, teens and adults, to see themselves reflected in the books the picture books, the fiction that they're reading, so that they feel like they are seen and they're important.
If you're living in a small town that's even 25 k's out of Greater Shepparton, for example, or out of the city of Shep, you might not be able to get to the event when we would have Carnival Day in the gardens. So we're having Carnival Day online, and you can connect with people by watching together and or by making new friends through the comments section. Whilst that isn't necessarily what you would always expect as a way to connect, it's how we connect in 2020. Like, it's the new norm. It's those catchphrases, buzzwords that we always talk about. This is what we're doing now. And I really didn't know how I would feel doing events online, but I've really kind of said, this is going to be awesome. And so far, all of the events that we've done around community that GV Pride has put on, like our community catch-ups that we've been doing over Zoom, and the bits and pieces of work that we've done in the last few months in the lead up to Oito, as we call it here, have all been really successful, and people have said, let's do more. So that's why we kind of forged ahead and kept it going.
Follow Out in the Open on social media and check out all the diverse events that you can be a part of this year, no matter where you're located.